All right, all right. Apparently, I was overloading something. I'm not sure what was going on. Yeah, right at Nasty Man's Gremlin. Lost everything. Oh, but yet, that's some cool breeding on that dog. That was a good breeding right there, man. That was some more of that where I was just trying to reproduce that Bolero stuff, taking that Stomper breeding and sticking it to different Eli stuff. Tell you more, tell you more. Yeah, so I sent that dog over there to the brothers to be bred to whatever they were going to breed it to. They were in Rotterdam, and they bred it. It was also bred to Blinky. She was bred to Blinky. Yeah, sweet man. It'd be cool to take one of those Fatville Villy pups back to that. Kind of like line breed that Euro blood. You know, we got that Villy dog that we got coming up. Well, yeah, he looks like he would be a bulldog. Got all that in there. Probably best dog you got. Uh, yeah, but it looks pretty good when you lay it out. And he looks just like he's bred. He looks just like that stuff. Good Eli looking dog. Got that good Bolio blood in there, and that old Bolio blood. The real stuff. That Blinky stuff was the truth, man. I was real interested in getting her bred to that blood. I knew it was going to be epic. And then that nasty man, he has done a great job breeding dogs. Well, see, I got my stuff coming. Uh, let's see here. Check that one out. You got the Disney stuff. Fucking Mickey Mouse dogs. Put some pedigrees up, man. So tonight, I was thinking about I hadn't decided yet. I got to make sure I got some people interested. But I was thinking about auctioning off a hard copy of the book of interviews, you know, doing a hard copy of the book of interviews. Of course, I'll sign it up and all that stuff. Excuse me. And then with it, I'm going to include another copy of my book. I got one that the front page and it's torn out. And so I'm not going to sell it. So they give me an extra book to put away. So so I'm thinking about running that at auction tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. If I got a couple people interested, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. My phone says it's interested. I got it trying to talk to me. All right, Bixby, I don't need anything. I can turn my music back on. Yeah, I don't know about any Disney blood. You know, but that Billy blood helped that Mayday blood, so it ought to help mine. You know, I mean, if it can help them big old uh, bird dogs, then it can help. It can help them little old kittens that I got. I'm just looking to breed to something different. I'm um, I'm tired of baking these cookies. I've been breeding the same thing for so long. I castrated my house dog. Oh man, here he comes. He got mad. Don't knock my stuff down. Pucky, what's going on, buddy? Hey, come by to say hey. Hmm? Where's the Pucky? See, I just mentioned his name. Here he comes. Pucky. Everybody say hey to Pucky. Say hey to the Pucky. Oh, it's my buddy. Oh, it's my buddy. Oh, it's my buddy. I love you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're gonna live to be 100. You're gonna live to be 100 years old. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, oh, oh. Give me some kisses. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Oh, I don't have any treats tonight. Daddy don't have any treats. No treats tonight. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hear you sneezing. I hear you, sneezer. You got your bone? Huh? Let's see here. Let's look at that pedigree. Let's see what you got. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Let's see here. Let's going to show you another pedigree tonight. We were talking about where is it? Where is it? What's the easiest way to get to it? There we go. Get to it that way. There you go. That's the one I was looking for. Check this one out. This old dog ended up producing real good. I don't know. I know you don't like Patrick stuff, but let's see. Boy, they don't like me texting on here and like doing a bunch of this stuff from this end and opening all these windows up. They don't like me doing it. I think my tech stuff here is frozen up. Text something to me. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. I sent a guy down there, man, to check them guys out. You ever been down there? Yeah, but look, look how that dog's bred. Don't worry about how. Just look how the style of breeding. He ended up being a real powerhouse producer. He was only bred one time in the whole litter. Oh, if you look there, look how Pedro Lives is bred. Yeah, he's a double grandson. And you know, that's the only time he was ever bred. Both those dogs. Well, I think Stymie was bred a couple times, actually. We only bred him one time, but I think another guy bred him a couple times. Um, but that Pedro Lives dog was only bred one time, and that was a breeding that produced Stymie. And check him out, how he was bred. You know, everybody was chasing that Ripper blood. Thanks, Carmen. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, he just passed away last year. As a matter of fact, his owner's mother just passed away. The guy that owned the dog, his mom just passed away a couple days ago. Um, Mrs. Mason, say her name. She was a real nice lady. Oh, but that guy had some good dogs. He had that dog. The plan was I gave him that dog and I gave him Weasel's sister. And he was supposed to breed the two to each other, but never got done. You imagine him bred to Weasel's sister? You know, you know, that would have been some good breeding right there. I wanted some of that, but never did get that breeding done. It's a shame sometimes when certain breedings don't get made. I got to be careful about opening all these windows up. I said, don't like it. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's all put up the best bred dog we ever owned. What's the best bred dog you ever owned? I'm trying to figure out how to bring them up. Um, where is he? There he is. Come on, load up so I can get that pedigree. Yeah, he died way too early. We only got two breedings off of him. He was going to be my stud dog when I came home from prison. And he passed away. Yellow, what's going on, man? We're sitting here looking at some of your blood. But that's my favorite dog. If I could reach back and get one of my dogs, it would be him. He uh, he had it all. If I hadn't got busted, you'd know that name too. Oh man, he was an ace. He was ready to go. Um, he had been schooled out, and he was everything you ever dreamed about in a bulldog. Um, uh, just he was perfect. He was on that same level with Bo and Bolero and that Dick dog, his father. Um, he was and his mother, that new granny dog, an orangadanga. He was just a super dog. Um, and he was a super dog that was out of two super dogs. Um, just, uh, just an incredible animal. Um, uh, I'd never seen anything like him. Of course, he didn't get to prove it, in the ultimate sense. So never got to find that out. Um, but what I did get to see was amazing, to say the least. He he checked all the boxes. You would have really liked him. And man, he was a sweet dog, uh, real easy going. Danced. He had this little dance that he did. He actually reminded me of Ken Allen, the way that he would do this little dance out there on the chain. So he was a cool dog. Really, really like Norm. I miss Norm. So he was about, I think he was 7 years old. Just, and he just passed away. We figured it was a heart attack. There was nothing wrong with him. He was perfectly healthy. Just wasn't meant to be. Luckily, Matt had made some important breedings with him and had bred him to Blackstreet. I mean, had bred him to Black Sister and produced Blackstreet Hooker, who's really become a phenomenal brood bitch in history. And also, he bred him to Spetty and produced the Clarence dog and that litter of dogs. And of course, Clarence produced a totally different type of dog than Norm did. Clarence produced a dog like Stomper. Man, when you breed the Clarence, it was just like breeding the Stomper. It was pretty amazing. So, but yeah, I like that stuff. Those Maverick Bolero dogs. You can't beat them, can you, Yella? Just ask El Toro Pepe. You know, I wonder what the priest is doing. What time is it? 11:30. No. Home copies at $100 key or other part passwords. Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, I got that stuff somewhere. I I oh yeah. Well, I know some people that have got some pups from them and they like them. Um, those pups out of that Boudreaux Sassy, that bitch from Vinny, Bred to Bear, they look good. Um, I I was able to get a couple of those with friends of mine, so I'm able to rescue a couple of those, get them in good homes. That was good. Got one out on a cable run a couple of days ago. A buddy of mine built a cable run, got his out on it. So hopefully got it finished up. He's going to get the hardware to hang the chain, get her out. Yeah, that's a trip, ain't it, uncircumcised? You never know who's going to show up. That's what's fun about doing this, man. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I'd just be watching TV or goofing off. I got all my eBay stuff done. I got my book orders done. I had a lot of book orders. Books selling well. So I still got plenty of them. So don't you don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. I got I think I got 2 boxes full of them. What's going on, you see? What's the word tonight? Now that bear dog, that come from a good litter of dogs. Um, we had a female out of that litter called Ladybug, and she just passed away. She was my buddy Matt's house dog, and she she just passed away. Um, I think those dogs are about 11 years old. She had real bad skin problems. Hannah Montana. No, we haven't seen him. He was stalking me on Facebook. I had to block him. No, dude was like sending me private messages on Facebook telling me what to do on my chat. Weird motherfucker, man. Yeah. Oh man. It takes all kinds. It takes all kinds. You know, he's a strange person, that's for sure. One thing I'll tell you something funny. One question he asked me, you know, if you've read the book, you know all about Zabo. You know, I tell all about Zabo. I tell all the stories about Zabo. You know, give me a thumbs up if you've read the book. But let's see, best bred or best dog. That's a tough one. Pops has bred champion Red Lady to Chinaman. She killed all the pups, but he gave Red Lady and the pups to Tom. Oh, Well, let me finish this real quick. Um, that Zabo dog, um, when he went, well, yeah, fuck that guy. Best bred or best dog, that was a tough one. Well, I had a son of Rascal Jr. Matter of fact, talking about Chinaman, he was out of Rascal Jr. and Chinaman's sister. And when I'd breed like all my bitches to one dog. Like, for instance, I bred all my bitches to Chinaman for about a year and a half. You know, I bred Stomper's sister, I bred Bolero, I bred Bonnie, I bred Miss Boobs, I bred, fuck, I don't know. I bred 4 or 5 bitches to him. Um, the same thing with this Rascal Junior dog I had. Um, I had 4 or 5 bitches come in heat at one time, and the people I got him from had just bred to him and got pups out of him. And man, I was wanting puppies out of him so bad. And no pups, no pups. I remember that dog. His name was a dog named Sue, and I didn't get any puppies out of him. He was a tough one. Um, and then the toughest litter was my dog El Pedro I've got out here. His mother, while she had the litter, came up with cancer. She was carrying the litter of puppies and came up with terminal cancer. And when the puppies were born, we we had to she basically had to be put to sleep like right after she had the puppies, and I hand raised the pups from a day old, and I raised 7 of them by hand. And Delphia, you know, Erlene's daughter, she helped me raise that litter. You can ask her about it. We raised them suckers, man. It took us 6 weeks, but we raised them by hand, 7 puppies. So, and that was 13 years ago. I still got one of them. Hang on, I'll show them to you. Let's see here. Gotta find El Pedro on here. Oh, he's on this list. By Clarence. Clarence. Oh, there he was. I just saw him. There he is. Man, I'll show you a good looking dog. You want to see a good looking dog? Yeah, this is a good looking dog right here. That's a good looking bulldog right there. You know, we raised that whole litter, man. They just started dying off here the last couple of years, and that's the last one left. He's 13 years old. Well, I think those were probably some of the better dogs off of Virgil. Um, I always encouraged Bob to come down here and breed one of those Virgil bitches to Two Eyes when he was alive, but he never did it. I think it would have made him some nice bitches to have taken Virgil back to, don't you think? If he took a Virgil footsie bitch back to Two Eyes, and then take a bitch back of that to pay to Virgil. Oh yeah, yeah, he's alive, man. He's back there in the backyard. He's still kicking. He was this afternoon. That's my buddy, man. That's my buddy. I've never bred him. Never bred the dog. Not one time. It's just my friend, man. You know, shoot, I let him run loose, and he he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's gotten a little cranky since he's gotten older. Oh yeah, we take him to dog shows. Andy showed him at the. Oh yeah. Well, it would have been good for Bob because then he could took that back over some of that Virgil uh, you know, more of it. He does want some booty. Those bitches will come in, he'll bark, roo, 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 roo. I thought about maybe breeding him to one of those uh, pups out there, like Spider or one of his sisters, one of her sisters. But I don't know. I'll think about it. Yeah, I had to think about it. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget my book is for sale. Fat Bill by Fat Bill. The wonderful life story of me. Bring you from birth up through the 80s. Volume 2 will be out the end of the summer. Definitely in time for your Christmas shopping list. And you get the book plus a hard drive, zip drive, excuse me. It's just loaded with great stuff. It's got books and pictures and audio interviews. The zip drive alone is worth the $50. That includes shipping anywhere in the United States or Canada. If it's overseas, it's $65. That's anywhere in the world. So, if you want to order it, you can order it on the front page of this page. You can also go to my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/fatbill007. Coming to you live from Turkey Cock Mountain. It's 11:44 on April 18th. I'm not sure the Virgil dogs do as well type bred as yours. Well, I mean, they don't really know how those dogs are bred. I mean, you can't really inbreed off something you don't know. I mean, they know the pedigrees on them, but you know what I'm saying. Don't really know. You don't. If you don't really know what you're dealing with, then you can't really tighten up on it, can you? Brandon, what's buddy? What's the word? What's the word, Thunderbird? The word is Thunderbird. Remember that commercial? The word is Thunderbird. What's the flavor today? It's Sunday. Strawberry. Oh man, that damn that damn Pedro dog now, not my Pedro dog, but Pedro lives out of Sweet Pea and Spetty. He'd kill you, man. That sucker would kill you. Um, I mean, he literally you had to keep you had to keep him in a cage like a wild animal. You had to keep him in a cage like a wild animal. Oh, yeah, man. And I'm not kidding. I kept him in a 10 by 20 with a top on it. I only bred him one time. I bred him that Spetty dog. And had got three pups out of that litter. Bully Son, Stymie, and Rock, Rock, Hard Rock, or Rock something. That Stymie dog went on to produce really well. Um, and we'll save that. I gotta quit smoking, man. I gotta quit smoking. I gotta quit. I gotta quit. You got some of them Virgil dogs, historian? People chasing Sweet Pea dogs too. They like them. Yeah. People like them Sweet Pea dogs. They chase after them dogs. There's a lot of people that like that stuff. Um, they mixed it with that dibble blood. I think that kind of cooled it off. I know uh, that's one thing I like about this Villy blood that I'm bringing in. Man, they so real easy going dogs. They they're real sweet, um, people loving, um, uh, easy going around the other dogs. Um, uh, just just a kind of like a dream dog, you know. I really really like these Philly dogs. The one that I've got, I mean, again, he's like El Pedro. Um, I mean, when I walk him on a leash, I could let him loose, and I don't think he'd do anything. I believe he'd just, run loose and be fine. So, oh man, I tell you, that was a game dog. Now, dude, I tried to stop him. I swear I did. You couldn't stop him. I mean, I had him open. Um, he's with Elvis right now. Elvis has him. He's at Graceland. He's at Graceland Kennels. Elvis is feeding him. When my bitch comes in heat, I'll bring him here. Right now, I got him at Elvis's house. So, there's too many people interested in him to have him at my house. When he's here, I'm just going to bring him here to breed him and then take him back away. You know, I, I, I just never did like Spike. I mean, if you ever seen the dog in person, all the pictures don't do him justice. He was so small and so short legged and such a non athletic dog. Um, his mother was not well thought of, that Black Betty bitch, and his father quit. Um, you know, and then when he scratched, he turned. When he scratched into a dog, he would turn sideways. And, you know, besides the semen dogs, you know, and, and, um, I mean, Spike didn't really produce that well for the number of times he was bred when he was alive. I mean, he was bred a lot more than Chinaman. And I don't think Spike made Register of Merit, did he? Oh, yeah, Virgil was like that. I like a dog like that. I've seen Virgil do that all the time. You just take him and let him run loose. I mean, that's the kind of dogs you want, man. I don't want a bunch of mean dogs. Fuck that. But I ain't doing shit with my dogs, so I want to be able to take them off the chain and play with them. You know? So, I mean, if you have a bunch of mean ass dogs, what are you going to do with them all the time? Just sit there and look at them? I mean, me in my situation, I can take them off the chain and run with them, play with them, let them. I've got a big field. I go out there and cut them loose out in the field, let them run. They don't go nowhere. They come back to me when I call them. You know, I don't have to put a rope on them. I mean, it's fun, man. I never had a dog like that growing up as a kid. I never had a dog like that as a dog man. But now things have changed a lot with me. And, I have my dogs now just because they're dogs, not for any other reason. I just loving on them, man, taking care of them. I don't have to tell anybody I'm doing anything with them, that I'm showing them or I'm doing this or doing that, man. They're just my dogs, and I take care of them. Yeah, man, you don't need that shit. And most of that shit's taught. Most of that shit is taught. When dogs do all that crazy stuff, people teach that shit to them when they're puppies. They encourage that type of behavior. And it ain't nothing but stupid. It endangers you, it endangers the public, and it definitely endangers that dog. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, you know, I know they bred Spike to a lot of those old snooty bitches back then. Lady Snooty and Snooty this and Snooty that. Now I had a bitch out of Spike's sister. Um, it was out of Pedro and Spike's sister, and we bred her to Stomper. Any bitch I could get a hold of out of Pedro that I could breed to Stomper, we did, and that's what produced that Bronson dog, and that was a hell of a breeding, and that was Spike's sister on the bottom. You know, and, boy, you talk about a dog with a big head. That some bitch had a huge head on him. He had a monster head. I mean, big, big head. Yeah, man, I want my dogs laid back, chilling. Oh, but it just don't make any sense letting them go crazy. Letting them go crazy doesn't make any sense at all. No, I mean, people think it means something, that it has some sort of sign to gameness. When to me, a dog that barks and raises hell, uh, you know, I think it's a sign of curness. I mean, I don't really believe in any of that, but I believe it's a sign of curness. Two eyes to new granny. Yes, the one man. Two eyes to new granny. That was one of those times I bred my two best dogs to each other that year. Anytime you can breed your two best dogs to each other, a season where and the stars line up and you get to breed your two best dogs to each other. That was a good one right there. That was a good one. You know, and the reason that was so good was that I was able to get a hold of that PD dog. That came home, and that was out of that litter. I used him to restart my yard. I bred him to the Spetty dog that I bred out of Frisco and no, not out of Frisco, out of Two Eyes and Ripper. And Ripper was out of Frisco and Bolero. And I bred Spetty to Two Eyes, and uh, I'm getting tired. And produced that anyhow. Bred that PD dog to the Spetty dog that was out of Two Eyes and Ripper. My least favorite litter off of Two Eyes. Oh man, my least favorite litter off of Two Eyes. Um, I'd have to say to the Hooten's pistol stuff. For some reason, I just that blood. It's just like when I bred Huckleberry to Helena, who was out of Hooten's pistol, and and also the Ray Charles dog that was out of Hooten's pistol. When I bred Huckleberry and So Evil to those dogs, and I bred Two Eyes to those dogs, um, the percentages weren't there. We'd get like one dog out of the litter, and then the rest of them were just, I mean, they were okay, but mainly it was, yeah, I'd just say like Two Eyes to Helena or Two Eyes to Ray Charles would have been my least favorite litters, and probably one of the most productive litters as far as like for the public would have been Two Eyes to Mallory. That Mallory bitch was out of Bo and a bitch out of Oscar and Ripper. And that Oscar dog was out of Bowell's Scallywag, or it might have been a brother to Scallywag. Anyhow, it was one of those kind of bred like the Niggerino stuff out of Texas. And hey, James, what's going on? And that stuff was real good. That stuff worked out really good. Um, when I bred Two Eyes to Mallory, there was a whole bunch of people. Yeah, Ray Charles, man. She was blind in one eye. So I named her Ray Charles. You know, you know me, man, with all my crazy dog names. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, share it. I need those 1,000 subscribers, James. I got my ride lined up to go on the tour. I got a driver. I got a car. So we ready to hit the road. All I need now is the live feed. Oh yeah, man. Well, my last litter, I had Donald, Spider, Gene, and Wizzy. Oh, but I always keep a couple dogs around with a certain name. Like I always keep a dog around named Rose, and always keep me a dog laying around named Pedro. Well, I think it sure helped old Matt McGee. You know, um, I mean, a couple dogs from my yard helped him because that Molly Brown dog that they use, that dog come from me too. I mean, Molly Brown on the top, and then Two Eyes and Loca on the bottom. Um, hell, those two, both them bitches come from my yard. Hell, half his pedigree come off my yard. $276. Yeah, man. What's up? What's going on, man? Let's hear it for the Commonwealth. Yeah, like I said, man, Spike never really had a good rep when I was around. I mean, I never bred a bitch to him. I could have bred to him. I stuck all my when that yard was set up like that. I was sticking all my bitches. Well, we were sticking everything to Pedro while Pedro was there, and then he sold Pedro to the Canadians. That's when we started sticking bitches to Chinamen. Oh, but that's when we started sticking bitches to Chinamen because that was the Eli dog he had, and he's 30 miles from the house. Like I said before, if that was Harry Hargroves that lived 30 miles from me, that's what I'd have been breeding to Rufus. You know, oh yeah. Um, John there got a dog out of the breeding. It was one of the best dogs he ever had. He'll tell you that. John got a bitch out of the litter. Well, and historically, when you're looking at pedigrees, that's always fun to look at is to go back to the books of champions and pull up their uh, their pedigrees. On that jump drive, it's got the books of champions on there, and you can look up their championship pedigrees and you can see who they went into. If the first guy they went into is refereeing on the third one, well, you can know that it's local. If oh yeah, well, a lot of that comes to the bitches he was bred to too. I mean, name one good bitch he was bred to besides Abigail. I mean, they just never stuck him to any good bitches. If they'd got him bred to some of that Lobs Jesse stuff that Lonnie Stilner had down there, Lonnie Brown had down there, they never got those breedings done. Um, I think they could have got that stuff going. But them boys let that Lobs Jesse stuff get away from them. And they had a whole bunch of it. And boy, oh boy, you talk about some well bred dogs. I mean, Art to a bitch out of Art's sister. And they had a bitch out of that. And they let that shit get away. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Those are some beautiful animals, too. But that was back in the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody that'll use a wild side dog. I'll be right back. Man, I gotta go to the grocery store. I'm out of everything. Bachelor life sucks, man. Who on here is a bachelor? Who on here lives alone? Has to go get all their own shit. Gotta buy their own groceries. Gotta wash their own clothes. Gotta do all that crap, man. Everything. Everything. Oh, he, man, I can't stand it. It's, I gotta go grocery shopping here. Go get some food. I mean, I'm out of everything. Today I had to make me a big old pot of rice and eat like a Chinaman. Oh, let's see here if I can find that pedigree for you. Yeah, I don't know how to look up McGee's pedigrees. Fuck a store. I know, man. I hate going, man. I can't stand it. I don't want to go. I'd rather order my shit from Amazon, have them bring it to me, but I still got to go get a bunch of stuff. I order a lot of stuff from Amazon. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. Be more, be more self-sufficient. Shoot, man, I want them all electrics. You know, just I'm waiting to get my retirement check. You know, just got about 30 something months to go. Start getting Social Security. Yeah, I had one out of that. I had that Chrissy dog out of that litter. That was that was the first dog that was ever matched under the Dixieline connection. And then she got bred back to Rufus, and that whole litter quit. Every one of them double Rufus dogs. Even the one that St. Benedict's got, that whatever her name is, Dowda's Meanie, they all quit. Oh yeah, I know. This is out of Gator and Greenwood's Delta was the name of the dog, Delta. I know. I remember Laverne, big brindle bitch with a black nose, black brindle, like a reddish, like had a red under it with black stripes. Predator Rufus. We got Chrissy. Take a look here. Lord, there's more curves in that pedigree than you can shake a stick at. Cardell, Crocomo quit. Yeah, that's a lot of curves in that pedigree. Steroid Steve. It was Chrissy. When you write it, it's Chrissy. Like when you write her name, it was Chrissy, not Christy. Like when you write her name, you spell it like that. Well, she was Bob the Slob's dog. That was his bitch, but he was part of the DLC at the time. Oh, I can cook, but you got to clean that shit up. Soup's good. Eat soup. I like soup. Eat a lot of soup. Soup's easy. I'll make stew. You know, oh yeah, I got pictures of him. Yep, I got pictures of Red Angus. They all quit. All of them quit out of that double Rufus litter. Floyd Hicks got 4 of them. And the last one that quit out of the litter was that Ranger dog, that big male. And I seen him quit with my own eyes. And the day he quit, that's when Floyd said that whole litter quit. He said that was the last one he had out of the litter, and he said the whole litter had quit. I mean, you know, well, that Tank dog was game. He was off a crock, wasn't he? Wasn't Tank off a crock? He was game. That's all he was. But he was game. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all this shit. No Harry. No Harry been around a long time, man. That's amazing. He's still feeding dogs, huh? That's what old Lester used to say. That's what old Lester used to say. I wonder if he cut all that hair off. I know I tried that long hair shit, and Lord Almighty, that stuff's hot, man. It's hot as hell. Real hot. No. The old mountain man. I miss that old mountain man now. No James Edwards. Now, well, John there, he was close to James Edwards. He knew him real good. Every time I talked to James Edwards, he'd be like, Fat Bill, let me get a puppy. Let me get a puppy from you, Fat Bill. Let me get a puppy. I love the way he said it. He'd be like, let me get a puppy from you, Fat Bill. I need to get a puppy. oh, James. So James was the one that got Honey Bunch and Rascal out of the lockup down there in Wilson, wasn't he? Wasn't he, John? When they got busted, didn't he just walk in there and go get them? Because he worked for the city. And when they had that bust and they took those dogs, James just walked in there and got them dogs. Well, James was a tough guy. They put him in charge of all the electrical stuff. The Otter had one named Croc too. Oh yeah, now I think I refereed one of his. He was out of Chinaman and Cammy, I think, but he was out of Chinaman. That Croc dog. I definitely refereed Tonka Bears championship. I remember that day because I beat a bitch of his that same day. Well, I lost to Homer Jr. in 2 hours and 30 minutes with the Adobe dog, and we were beating him the whole time. And that was up at P&P Kennels. I went into Larry Miller, and Larry handled and conditioned Homer Jr. And my dog failed to scratch at 2 hours and 36 minutes. And Homer Jr. won the match. So I'd say that was pretty darn game. You can look that one up. That was Homer Jr.'s fourth match. No, but Valero's grandmother beat that Queenie bitch. If you look that Queenie bitch's record up, her fourth time out, she was a champion. She lost game to Snake Man Shelby. Ah, you didn't miss nothing. Oh man, James was the card, buddy. He always had something going on. Did she quit the Shelby? Yeah, I didn't know she quit to her. Yeah, I knew Valero's grandmother beat that Queenie dog, but I didn't know she quit. That's good. That's hell yeah. Woo! Yeah, but Jocko himself, man. Everybody talks about Jocko and how great he was. Jack Kelly told me when they matched him for his championship, he was covered in mange, and that they couldn't even believe that they were going to match him, and and that the dog just won because he was game, and that was it. Oh, you know. And then I've seen so many dogs off of Jocko. Good dogs, game dogs. I don't know, man. I thought a lot of those Jocko dogs. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man. Jocko himself, good stuff. But with all that stuff there, it's probably a lot like the Virgil stuff and why it's not going to stick around. That's why the Jocko stuff got absorbed into the yellow blood. You know, couldn't stand on its own for being bred like that. So, oh yeah, that's right. There's lots of good dogs in Jocko's pedigree too. I'm gonna put his pedigree up for y'all. One of the big things in his pedigree is the Mayfield blood and that stuff they brought up from Texas. The Vernon Jackson uh, bred up this Hank side of it, and the Mayfield Lightning side of it, and they're not really Jocko dogs anymore, but the Hank blood that Vernon Jackson breeds, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't call them Jocko dogs. It's more of a, what is that stuff that Vernon Jackson breeds? Let's see if I can run forward on it here and find you some of it. Yeah. But, you know, I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with none of that stuff from the low country. But back then in the day, out of the bunch of them, man, I'll tell you what, Fletcher Chavis and those guys, if you wanted a bulldog, you'd go up there and get you a bulldog from Fletcher. You know, he put them on the ground and he'd sell you a bulldog. You'd go down there and give old Fletcher $700-800 and get you some hellacious dogs. So, and that's a fact, Jack. I seen plenty of them. You know, but when Fletcher died, that was it. You know, it was kind of the same situation with some of these other families, kind of like how the Colbys, you know, when Lou died in 2011, you look 10 years later, I mean, you don't even hear anything about him. You know, it was kind of left in the hands of his kids, and you don't really even hear anything about a yard of dogs or anything. So, well, they all quit. We know that. I can guarantee you that. There's a couple of them that'll stick around. Most of them will quit. You know, they. But anyhow, well, I'm gonna roll. I'm getting tired. My brain's getting kind of scrambled. So I'm gonna cut this stream off. It's getting late. And you guys have a good evening. I'm going to crash out and we will continue this conversation next time. Until then, this is Fat Bill checking out. Y'all have a good evening. Good night.